Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I am in a completely different setup, as you guys will notice. This is kind of my home away from home. I'm actually just staying at a friend's house right now, my boyfriend's house. I'm actually feeling a little bit rough, a little bit under the weather. I haven't been tested positive for anything, and apparently I don't qualify to be tested for anything. I don't meet the criteria, but I have had what feels like a really horrible head cold for almost a week. And I was almost over it, and then I worked a night shift and it completely kicked me in the butt and I'm still not feeling great. So anyways, I thought I would make you guys a video because it's been a few days since I've uploaded and I wanted to make sure you guys didn't get tired of waiting for a video or bored of my channel. So I thought it would be important to get something up there for you guys. So excuse my raspiness in my voice. I am feeling not 100% today and I have lost my voice a little bit. So today's video is going to be, as you can tell from what you can see here, is a little bit of a perfume review, as well as I just have my coffee, of course. Not that you care about my coffee. So I've told many of you guys before that something that I've really been getting into has been perfumery. This whole COVID thing has inspired a new passion in mine because, of course, there's nothing to do. Everything's closed. You can't really shop. But one thing you can still do is you can still purchase things online, and you can purchase things in the stores if you have to go out for other essential goods, like if you have to go and buy groceries or you have to buy medicine or whatever. I usually do most of my buying from one place. I usually go to the pharmacy, the local drugstore, because they sell everything. They have food, they have cosmetics, they have toiletries, they have medication, they have they have everything you can possibly need in one place. And so I try to do a one-stop shop, and guess what? They have perfume there. So this might be a little weird, but it's kind of my way of dealing with not being able to go out and do things. And it's also kind of become a little hobby. I've been looking up notes, I've been researching perfumes, I've been kind of digging around to see, you know, what notes make a perfume better or worse, which ones click with me, which ones I don't like, what makes it appropriate for day, what makes it appropriate for night. And I have in front of me 4 recent purchases. 3 of them are blind buys that I actually bought within the last few days. And one of them is one that I've had for a little while, but all of them were blind buys based on my own studying of the notes and my own learning and just looking at online reviews and trying to make an educated guess and purchase new perfumes. So I will share with you the perfumes that I have. I'll share with you some notes. I did make some notes, and excuse my writing because it's really awful. I kind of just jotted this down really quickly while I was eating. And I'll tell you guys which of the perfumes I actually really like, which ones I'm okay with, and there's actually one in this collection here that turns out to be a total dud and not a good purchase. And maybe you can guess what one that is. So the 4 perfumes, the 4 blind buys that I'm going to be sharing with you are Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, which is this beautiful bottle here. Carolina Herrera Good Girl, the original. Vie Est Belle, the original. I believe this is Eau de Parfum. And we have Chance Chanel Eau Tendre, which is the fresher, more youthful, brighter version of the Chance by Chanel. So why don't we start off with one that I absolutely love. Okay, so this was the best blind buy out of all of the perfumes that I have purchased recently. This one, if you guys haven't smelt it before, is a sweet, vanilla, fruity, powdery, patchouli type of scent. It is a very feminine, pretty, daytime, just a beautiful scent. This is one of the best-selling perfumes worldwide, apparently. It's just a mass pleaser. You can't go wrong with it. Like, if you're gonna do a blind buy, I think you'd be pretty safe to buy Vie Est Belle. This perfume, the bottle is absolutely beautiful. It's just a really pretty, sweet, feminine, mass-pleasing. You can wear it anytime, any place. It's appropriate for a date. It's appropriate for daytime. So the top notes have pear and blackcurrant. The mid notes are jasmine, iris, and orange blossom, and then the base is praline, vanilla, patchouli, and tonka bean. You really can't go wrong with those notes. I mean, that's like a powerhouse of some of the best smelling notes that you can put in a perfume. I definitely don't get a lot of the blackcurrant and the pear, to be honest, when I first spray it. To me, it's not super fruity. It does have a little bit of fruitiness in the opening, but what I get mostly from it is like the vanilla and the powderiness, and it's just so pretty. I definitely get a little bit of the iris note in there. This perfume actually has really good staying power as well. I actually wore a shirt the other day, and I sprayed this on the shirt and on myself, and I put the shirt through the wash, and today I could still smell this perfume on the shirt. So that is how good the staying power is on clothing. On skin, it is a little bit less, of course. I did have to reapply this once throughout the day. But this is such a beautiful perfume. Honestly, it's so good on your skin. I can't even express to you how good it is. It is so sweet, so powdery, so vanilla, so beautiful. There's nothing offensive in this perfume whatsoever. I can't imagine anybody not liking this. If you guys haven't smelled Vie Est Belle, or if you are looking for a new perfume and you want something that you will be guaranteed not to dislike, try this one. I promise you, you can't go wrong. It is so good. Might even be one of my signature scents. I can guarantee this will be one of my most worn scents. So that's perfume number one. Let's move on to, actually let's put it over here. All right, let's move on to another perfume. Let's move on to one that I don't like quite as much, but is still a very, very good perfume. Oh, and for the Vie Est Belle, I give it a 10 out of 10. For me, it's like the best. You can't really beat it. But let's move on to Carolina Herrera Good Girl. This perfume has a really interesting bottle. The reason I got this perfume is because it's touted as being what is called, quote unquote, a man killer perfume. So apparently it's supposed to be like a powerful aphrodisiac and super, super delicious, and men love it. So this perfume is touted as a white floral, cacao, sweet, warm, spicy type of fragrance. The top notes have almond, coffee bean, bergamot, and lemon. So there is a little bit of a freshness, definitely when you first spray this. It is a little bit headachy inducing almost, like if you're sensitive to citrusy and you're sensitive to like bergamot, you're definitely going to get a little punch in the beginning that could possibly be a little bit headache inducing, and it is inducing, and it is a heavier perfume for sure. The coffee bean makes it really, really heavy. So this is not a soft, sexy, feminine daytime scent. This is definitely more of an evening scent. It's a really heavy, heavy scent right from the get-go. The mid notes include jasmine, tuberose, orange blossom, rose, and orris. And then the base notes have, there's a ton. This is a really actually complex fragrance. The base notes are praline, vanilla, sandalwood, cacao, tonka bean, amber, patchouli, cashmere wood, cedar, and cinnamon and musk. So there is a lot going on in this perfume. Usually I'm not a fan of cinnamon, but I do really like all of the other scents that they have included. So for me, it would be a very safe, sexy evening kind of a vanilla scent, except that they threw in a couple of oddballs in there. So they threw in the cinnamon, there's also that coffee bean, and then there's also lemon in the opening, which makes it a little bit more fresh in the opening initially, but it's definitely not a fresh scent. But just to make that distinguishment, there is a little bit of a pinch in the opening that makes it kind of, it really catches your attention. It's definitely not a quiet perfume. It has really great sillage and longevity. You don't need to spray a lot of it. I haven't tried this on my skin yet, so I really need to do that. I just tried it on a piece of paper, and I did get my boyfriend to test it, and he gave us the seal of approval. He said yes, he would qualify this as what they call man killer perfume. He says it is very good. It reminds him of an expensive ritzy hotel, is how he described it. Actually, one of our favorite hotels, the Wynn, which is in Vegas. And I can kind of see how he gets that because it is a little bit of a musky, coffee, vanilla, flowery perfume. I can see how it would remind you of like the foyer of a really expensive ritzy hotel, but kind of a sexy version of that. So yeah, this is definitely an evening sexy. I mean, if I want to smell sexy, I would definitely wear this perfume. The only reason I give it an 8 out of 10 versus a 10 out of 10 is because it is a little bit headache inducing for me. The lemon and the coffee in the front is very, very strong and does kind of catch me off guard a little bit and makes me go, oh my gosh, that's strong. Like I just have to pull back a little bit, but it is a really good scent and I'm really glad that I have it in my collection. It's very delicious. When I sprayed it on a piece of paper the other night, I went back and I smelled that piece of paper this morning and the dry down on the paper was absolutely beautiful. I will have to try this on myself to kind of get a better idea. But yeah, the dry down on paper was absolutely gorgeous. So that is Carolina Herrera Good Girl, and this one is an 8 out of 10. Let's move on to one that I regret buying. And believe it or not, you guys, it is Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. So the reason I purchased this perfume is because I don't have a Chanel in my collection. Chanel was something I really, really wanted in my collection, mostly because it's so iconic. I just think Chanel is so classy. I love their handbags. I love everything about their fashion. I love their clothing. And I really, really wanted one of their fragrances in my collection. Up to this point, I haven't really liked most of the Chanel Chances or most of the Chanel perfumes in general. I've smelled all of them at some point in the past. Just wasn't really turned on by them, didn't really care to get them. I'm not so much of a fresh citrusy type of person, and a lot of the Chances are very fresh and citrusy, as you know. The reason I purchased this one is because the Eau Tendre was supposed to be a very mass-pleasing, difficult to dislike scent. I looked at a lot of reviews. Jeremy Fragrance was one of them that I looked at, quite a few people, and they said, you know what, it's almost impossible not to like this perfume. But I will beg to differ. They might have found their first person who doesn't like it. What I don't like about it, it's a little bit too fresh and fruity for me. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just a little bit too fresh, bright, fruity for me. Not my kind of thing. I'm definitely more into Orientals. I like a little bit more of the woodsy notes, a little bit more of the vanilla, a little bit more of the musk, patchouli. This does have musk in the base. Before we go on, I will read to you what the notes are. In the top, we have quince and grapefruit, which I've never smelled quince before, so I don't really know what quince smells like, but I definitely do get the bright, appley kind of scent in the beginning. The middle has jasmine and hyacinth, and then the base has amber, cedar, iris, and musk. So to be honest, I don't get a lot of iris from this. I don't find it very powdery at all. Haven't sprayed this on my skin yet. I suppose I should do that to see what it's going to be like. But to be honest, I think I'm already turned off by it just because of the bright fruitiness in the beginning. I think honestly, if I was going to go with a Chance, it would have to be one of the more dry, not so bright, not so vibrant, not so girly, something a little bit more classic Chanel, I think. And of course, they don't have the testers out right now, so this was a total blind buy. All of these were blind buys for me. So yeah, I do have the receipt for this. I do have the box. They're not taking returns right now or exchanges, but if the whole isolation thing is done within 30 days, I can take this back and hopefully exchange it or just get my money back. I mean, the bottle is beautiful. The presentation is beautiful. You know, it's a really nice fragrance. Don't get me wrong. It can't really go wrong. I think you could wear it for so many different occasions, but it's definitely not for me. It's just a little bit too fresh and bright and just not my thing. So yeah, I regret buying this one, but I will see if I can get my money back or exchange it. The other one that I'm debating that is Chanel is Coco Mademoiselle. That's definitely more into the Floriental vibe, and I think it would be much more my thing. Yeah, so I might go and get the Chanel Coco Mademoiselle at some point or just exchange this for it in the future. So that is Chanel Chance Eau Tendre, and I give it a 3 out of 10, only because I would give it like a 9 out of 10 because I think everybody else likes it, but for me it's a 3 out of 10 just because of the type of fragrance that it is. Last but not least, we have Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. This perfume is on so many people's top 10 list of women's best fragrances. So many people. It's kind of strange because this is a perfume I've actually purchased before based on the recommendation of Jeremy Fragrance. Actually, I bought this about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I honestly thought that I must have got a bad batch when I got it because I really, really hated it when I first got it. I ordered it from Amazon, so I don't know if it was legit or if it did indeed come from, you know, a bad company or if it was just old. But I found something about it to be very piercing and not enjoyable, and I did not like it at the time. Now, that being said, my tastes have changed a little bit over the last couple of years, so maybe at the time it was a little bit too much for me, whereas now maybe I appreciate it more. I'm not really sure. But for those of you who haven't smelled Mon Guerlain, let me tell you a little bit about it. It is a vanilla, aromatic, powdery, floral, fresh, spicy scent. This perfume is what Jeremy Fragrance describes as the perfect wife perfume. It's just pretty and sophisticated and smells like a beautiful wife. It's mature in a good way. The top notes have bergamot and lavender. The middle is rose, iris, and jasmine. And then the base is licorice, benzoin, coumarin, patchouli, sandalwood, and vanilla. So this perfume is like a powerhouse of notes. It is designed so exquisitely well. I definitely get a lot of that lavender when I first smell it. And in fact, the lavender stays around throughout the whole thing. The lavender almost doesn't even leave for me. It is the most powerful note that I get out of the whole fragrance. And supposedly what makes this special is that lavender is usually a male or a masculine note that is used in colognes. It's usually not used in women's colognes very much, but the way they've put it together with everything else makes it just really incredible. I definitely get some of the powderiness from the iris, and I definitely get the benzoin, the sandalwood, the vanilla, the patchouli, the coumarin. I don't get a whole lot of licorice from this, which is good because I'm not a fan of licorice, to be honest. But yeah, what I get from this mostly is just a delicious, powdery, lavender vanilla. It is so nice. It is so nice and so well done. It's so pretty. It smells better on your skin than it does on the bottle. It's very aromatic. I just wanted to smell myself all night. I give this one a 10 out of 10. Same thing as I give the Vie Est Belle, but it is different than the Vie Est Belle in the terms that it has more of a powderiness and it's got that lavender in there. But both of them are very mass pleasing. I can't imagine somebody not liking this fragrance. Yeah, I just love it. And I can see myself wearing this a lot in the future. I'm really glad that I bit the bullet and decided to buy it again and to try it again, because this time around it's so different for me. And I don't know if it's because I bought it from a legit perfume place or because I just have different tastes now or what the case is. But in any case, I absolutely love it. It's so beautiful. The bottle's beautiful. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. So that is it. That is my 4 blind buy perfumes. And these ones were really good blind buys. These 2 were excellent blind buys, like my 2 favorites. This one was a pretty good blind buy. I'm happy to have it in my collection. This was really the only dud, which is unfortunate because it was kind of an expensive dud. $135 worth of expensive dud, but that's okay. So we will get that exchanged, and I'm really, really happy with the other 3. So that is pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of impromptu, random, totally different than what I would normally do video. And I'm going to actually probably take a nap and continue nursing myself and try to kick this cold that I have. So I hope all of you guys are staying safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.